It's up trading about 2%, both the Dow and the NASDAQ. But the big news, starting the midday, is that your $1.9 trillion stimulus package is becoming a law. Yes, your $1.9 trillion stimulus package is becoming a law. The $1,400 stimulus check is coming to you. The $3,200 adult dependent stimulus check is coming to you. And Eidl grants that you may not have gotten are coming to you as well. This is all finalizing by the minute. The breaking developments across the board. Meantime, no less than 200 million doses of Pfizer vaccines will be available in May, 2 months earlier than predicted. And a breaking development as Joe Biden issues an order to send vaccine doses to pharmacies across the country. So you'll be able to get doses quicker, easier, and faster than ever before. Meantime, what's happening on Wall Street? What's happening on Congress? And how fast could you see the stimulus check? Less than 2 weeks from now. I have all the great developments across the board. Thank you for joining me on Home LA. This is LA, the most comprehensive news channel for business around the clock, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No one compares to LA when it comes to business news, whether it's Wall Street or Main Street, my home to your home, delivering you everything you need to know, whether it's Wall Street or Main Street, vaccine or stimulus. I have all the details for you today. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe because this is the best darn channel there is, reporting 24 hours a day from 1 a.m. to 1 p.m. the next day, programming around the clock and the most interactive with 350 people in the room and 200 likes. Let's see where we end. Let's see if we can go to another 2,000 and 1,000. Meantime, if you've not liked this video, consider liking the video. And if you've not become a member, becoming a member gives you access to documents like the documents I delivered exclusively to viewers just minutes ago. A series of brand new PDFs and links to PDFs delivered minutes ago. Become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, a Calcino VIP. Let's get to the breaking details. The breaking details as you start a afternoon is that the stimulus package is finalized. It's effectively finalized. How did this happen so quickly from this morning to noontime? Let me explain what's going on. What's going on is that the leadership in the Biden administration had been debating how to address getting packages and relief to Americans. And sometime in the last 7 days, they either heard the Purple Power, the followers of this channel's tweets, or they also internally saw what was going on. What was going on was Joe Biden had came into the administration trying to be accommodating to the Republican leadership, and that accommodation wasn't working. So with that, Biden made the bold decision, go big, go beautiful, or go home. And with that, this is what's happening right today. A reconciliation bill is being passed in the Congress at this very moment. It could be passed by the end of today. What does a reconciliation bill do for you? It is a procedural step that once that bill is finalized and becomes law, then the next minute, the bill that is anchored upon the reconciliation, thank you, Jeannie, for the super chat, will become law also. It's sort of like a truck with a U-Haul hitch in the back, and you put something on the back of the hitch. What are you hitching? You're hitching the $1.9 trillion stimulus pack bill on the back of the truck. If the truck goes through, then what's hitched on the back also goes through. So by the end of today, the truck, this resolution bill, will become a law. It's being voted upon on the Senate floor today. And thereafter, all they have to do is introduce what's on the hitch, the $1.9 trillion stimulus package bill, and that will pass by as early as the end of the week and become law by as early as the end of the week. The reason why they're doing this, let me explain. Because by doing it this way, by resolution, they're amending the rules of the congressional operations so that they only need Democratic support for the $1.9 trillion bill and don't need anyone else from the GOP to support them. Hey, everyone, welcome Sandy to the family. Welcome for becoming a Purple Hawk. What does this mean? It means that as soon as every Democrat confirms, thank you, Alicia, for the lemon, which I couldn't see. It went across the screen so quickly. As soon as they have every Democrat on board confirming they will support the resolution, then we already know the $1.9 trillion bill has passed. Basically, when every Democrat supports the truck that's driving through on the resolution, then the hitch on the back of the truck, the $1.9 trillion stimulus package bill, passes in as well. And why do we know that's happening? Because minutes ago, the lone holdout, Manchin, said, you know what? I'm voting party line. I'm voting in favor of the $1.9 trillion bill. I have reservations, but here we go. And Manchin said yes. And with that, you now finally have a path to getting this as a law. So when will the $1.9 trillion bill become law? It will become law this week. Hey, Camille, thank you for the super chat. The resolution, the truck, which goes in front of the law, will become law by perhaps the end of today. The hitch will become law by the end of the week. They just got to do the same process again. It takes no less than 2 days to get that done. There you go. And with that, I have more exciting great news. And the exciting great news concerns SSI and SSDI, Social Security and Railroad benefits, and it also concerns multiple stimulus checks. What is that exciting news? That's coming up in a second. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Also like this video. And thank you, Saymak, for the cat. Oh, meow. 1,100 people in the room. Wow, that was fast. I think that's the fastest 1,100 people in a room ever on a live chat of this channel. It's only 7 minutes in and we're already 1,100 people. 358 likes. Get those likes up. Like that button. Hit that like button. 394. Tell your friends to get in. Let's get to 2,000 people. There's big news coming out today across the board with the vaccine. And the big news with the vaccine came in no less than 3 major announcements since morning's LLA. My eyes are sort of kicking in because there's so much news happening. What you're gonna start to see on this channel happening now is I'm starting to separate subject matters because there is so much news. Let me turn to the breaking news about the vaccine. The breaking great news about the vaccine is twofold. One, Pfizer announced minutes ago that it has been able to roll out 200 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine for COVID by May, not July, 2 months earlier. This is incredible great news. That announcement came earlier today with the indication that some of its existing doses are still unused. It has delivered 29 million doses, of which 17 million have been used. So 200 million doses for the United States citizens by the month of May is incredible great news. So how are you going to be able to get the vaccine? Well, that's the other breaking news that happened minutes ago. Minutes ago, the Biden administration issued a declaratory statement that said, we have announced a new policy to get all major U.S. pharmacies access to the vaccine. Wow. Now, under the Trump administration, only 2 major U.S. pharmacies were carrying the vaccine across the country, where certain regional pharmacies were carrying it sporadically. Under the Biden administration's order today, all pharmacies across the country will be able to have the vaccine in the next few weeks. This is a major announcement. It means that 40,000 pharmacies on your street corners across the country and 6,500 retail stores that have pharmacies in them, will have the ability to disperse doses like we have never seen before. This is what everyone had been wanting for. They want to have 300 million doses from Pfizer and Moderna by the end of the summer. At the moment, we see this suddenly a massive turnaround of progress. We don't know how many doses for Moderna are in distribution, in manufacturing, but we have this great statement from Pfizer that they have 200 million by May, additional 200 by May. We assume that Moderna will probably be able to match that as well. And now we have the conduit, your neighborhood pharmacy on the corner. Things are looking up very quickly. All right, now at the 10-minute mark, let me give you the big update that's very exciting about SSI and SSDI. You know, in looking back at my notes about SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and railroad benefits, I went back to Biden's transition statements to see how did he phrase where and when all these benefits would land. And I went back to his statement, and there came the most incredible set of words. Biden is proposing the modified Social Security Act of 2021. Yes, in his transition statements, Joe Biden said that he wants to overhaul the entire system with a plan called the Social Security Act of 2021. Thank you, Cindy, for the super chat. What does that mean? He intends to do a major reform of the Social Security system. And that major reform of the Social Security system is why I had always said it was a standalone bill. I had not looked at why I had always said it was a standalone bill because there's so much to report. I had not seen his words in a long time because it's been a few months. And I looked back at it. In a statement, Larson said the Biden administration and members of the House and Senate are looking on proposing different proposals to get this done. This was in December. There's a lot of similarities between the Social Security Act of 2021 and Biden's campaign proposals. They will be reintroducing the Social Security Act based upon how this comes out together. This is incredible. Altman, who is president of Nancy Altman, president of Social Security Works, which advocates for Social Security expansion, says if it's, meaning SSI and SSDI, Social Security and railroad benefits, if it's not done in the COVID package, then it would make sense to do it in a comprehensive Social Security package, which gives some impetus to acting on it in this coming year. That was a statement in December. She's referring to this year. That was a statement made last year. This is referring to this year. Under this plan, eligible workers would get a guaranteed minimum benefit equal to 125% of the federal poverty level. People who receive benefits for at least 20 years would get a 5% increase in their benefits. Widows and widowers would receive up to 20% more in benefits. That's a 20% step up that I talk about. To pay for those higher benefits, Biden would apply a Social Security payroll tax to those making $400,000 or more. Millions of Americans count on Social Security benefits to provide income when they're retired or disabled or when loved ones pass away. The program's funds have been running low. The latest official estimates from the Social Security Administration shows that only 79% will be available in about 3 years from now. This is all Biden's transition statements. So that is incredible great news. Incredible great news. Now, let's turn back to the reconciliation. With 13 minutes on the mark and 1,700 people room and 667 likes, let's get to 2,000 people in the room and 1,000 likes. Get those likes up. 675, Lord. That's not even 50%. That's like a 30%. Let's get those likes up. If you're just joining me at the 13-minute mark, let me give you the big update where we are. Live from Los Angeles, it's home LA with your comprehensive report on everything happening financial. From Wall Street to Main Street, from my home to your home, this is the latest update today, midday. Wall Street's trading up substantially, up about 2% for both the Dow and NASDAQ, up 2% as well. Stocks that were dominating news last Friday, like GameStop and AMC, are tanking miserably. But the rest of the Wall Street is doing very well today. And what is also doing very well today is Democrats and their push to get things done quickly. The breaking developments, first, make sure you subscribe to this channel. This is the most comprehensive channel there is. We're reporting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No channel compares with the financial breadth of coverage of this channel and the most interactive that there is online. So make sure you subscribe to this channel. It's free to subscribe. Hit that like button as well. 1,800 people in the room with 800 likes. Also consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. The link to become a member, join, is in the top of the chat and also in the description, also under the video. What is happening minutes ago? What's happening minutes ago is that your $1.9 trillion stimulus package bill is becoming law. It's actually becoming law. At this point, as we sit here on a Tuesday afternoon, there's nothing that'll block it from becoming law. So it could become law by as early as the end of this week, which means you could be getting a $1,400 stimulus check for individuals, $2,800 for married couples, $1,400 for children, $3,200 for adult dependents. Thank you for the wicked lemon, Brother Joshua. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all your great work you do as well. And that bill could deliver you those checks within the next 2 weeks. What happened? Why did something suddenly change? Let me explain what's going on. Thank you, Shayna, for the dancing pair. I really appreciate it. What went on was an internal series of meetings between Democratic leaders. Rather than go into all the details of it, let me summarize it for you. Joe Biden had a series of meetings today, yesterday, last week. You heard me talk about that one on Friday a lot. And apparently there was one on Thursday. It came after the Purple Power, the followers of this channel, went on social media and said, Joe, you're taking too long. You said day one, we're at week 3, you're taking too long, you're taking too long. He understood that. Jag Yellen understood that. He understood that, and he was being dragged by the Republicans. So what did Joe Biden do? He actually said, this is his exact words, let them take you to court. What? Yes, he actually said, let the Republicans sue me. Go ahead and sue me. What is he referring to? He said that I'm going to try to do as many executive orders as I can. Hey, Lori, thank you for the dancing pair. He actually said, I'm going to let the Republicans, if they want to make such a mess about things, let them take me to court. I'm going to pass as many executive orders as I want, and if they don't like it, take me to court. That was exact words. Let them take you to court. And this came after you, me, the Purple Power, and his internal team was saying, Joe, I know you've been out of Congress for a couple of years. This is the new Congress. They don't let you do anything. Either you do what you want or you don't do anything. And so he said, do it all and just steamroll right through and do it. Good evening. Good evening. Here we are. Majority Whip Jim Claiborne, Democrat of South Carolina, said don't try to go around them, but they refused to do it. Use your executive powers and executive order powers and do it, and let them take you to court. And by that, also, Joe Biden and Ron Klain aren't going to make this mistake twice. What mistake are they referring to? Doing things little bits at a time and asking for GOP support. They said, no, you don't support us. We're going to steamroll right through to you. Let me explain what that steamrolling right through to steamrolling really involves. It involves the reconciliation process. What is this reconciliation process? It's the thing that I referred to as Plan B. About 2 weeks ago, I referred to it as that boring thing that I don't want to bore you about. Now I have to talk about it because it's really the most important and substantial thing that's going on today and potentially several times during this administration. The reconciliation process basically says every time you want a bill, if you think you can't get Republican senators to vote in favor of the bill, then do a reconciliation first, the day or two before, the truck, and then once you pass the reconciliation, which you don't need Republicans for. You only need Republicans. You don't need Republicans for. You only need Democrats. Once you pass the reconciliation, then you can bring in whatever is tow hitched to the back of the truck. And the new reports say that, guess what? Joe Biden may be tow trucking some more stuff in. He may use the reconciliation process as often as he so wants because he's just sort of sick of the blockades of Congress. This comes after reports that Republicans used reconciliation twice in 2017 with Donald Trump. But now progressives are saying, hey, use this reconciliation process as often as you need to get your stuff done. Elizabeth Warren, Democrat of Massachusetts, progressive, says, I feel good that we've identified what needs to be done and we have a plan to getting it done. I worry about delay every day, and that goes by, it doesn't pass. That's been the Republican approach from day one. It's Mitch McConnell's approach. Hold up, hold up, hold up. So this is incredible great news. Hopefully by now I've explained to you why reconciliation has changed the situation for the American landscape for COVID relief. Basically, the truck only needs Democrats to support it. The truck drives through. And once the truck, the reconciliation plan B, drives through, then what's on the back of the truck becomes law. What is in Plan B? So let me explain that. That's a great question for Billy B. And I got that question on social media as well. It's the way it's phrased is that the truck basically says, hi, I'm reconciliation. I'm a truck. I got something behind me. And behind me is Plan A. I got a pole. I got a tow truck. I got a tow hitch in Plan A behind me. So all that Plan B does, now we know, is it repeats what's in Plan A. Plan B is not different than Plan A. It was not particularly clear what they were doing. So now we understand that Plan B is not really, it was actually a bad choice of words by myself. I don't think I should have called it Plan B and Plan A. That really basically reconciliation is a way to tow hitch in something that is behind it. And that something is your $1.9 trillion stimulus package. Now, what is in the $1.9 trillion stimulus package? Well, you've known that for several weeks as a member of this channel because you have the PDFs. That was the very first PDF, the January 23rd. Wow, there's 2,300 people in the room and 1,100 likes. Let's get those likes up, but let's keep on getting people in the room. Let's see if we get to 3,000. Let me go to what is in the reconciliation, what we now know more today about what's in the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. About 2 hours ago, what I had for you was a copy of Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer's statement about the reconciliation. Understand, this is why I had to make this very simple. The reconciliation, they're repeating what's being towed behind the truck. And that hitch behind the truck is this. So let me go over it and get ready for some deliciousness because some of these things you have never heard before until this recording. In the stimulus I'm reading from Nancy Pelosi's statement. The stimulus package will include immediate relief for individuals and families through 2021, including $1,400 per person and per child, with an extension of unemployment insurance through September 2021 with a $400 federal enhancement and $350 billion for state and local and territories. It'll also provide increased health care to those who have lost relief during the pandemic. So it's $1,400 for individuals, $1,400 for children. It does not mention the adult dependents, but it is in there, $3,200 adult dependents. And it includes FPUC $400 a week to September 2021, no retro, and it's a single stimulus check. It does not include the $2,000. If you tuned into Mornings LATE today, you certainly were excited with me because Joe Biden's statement and his press secretary's statement is, you know what? Now that I look at this $1.9 trillion bill, it's not big enough. I may need another one. So get ready. Of the three items that I talk about on this channel, FPUC Retro, MSC, and SSI and SSDI, we now know that SSI and SSDI, Social Security reform, will be a massive bill for Joe Biden. That's the first item. So don't think that's dead. It certainly is going somewhere. Number two, we now know that Joe Biden thinks that a $1.9 trillion bill is too small. So don't think this is your only stimulus check from now to December. We now have statements from the White House. It is not. Hey, Shayna, thank you for the dancing bear. I really appreciate it. 2,600 in the room and 1,200 likes. Number three, the FPUC Retro. Vivian, this is perhaps the only thing that might be a casualty. I don't see yet where the FPUC Retro could get picked up. I don't see where yet it can be picked up. Now, understand if you do remain unemployed, which I don't hope you are, from now to September, that's January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. That is nearly 40 weeks of unemployment on FPUC at $400 a week. That's upwards of $16,000 you can get for FPUC in 2021. I'll repeat that again. $16,000 this plan will pay you for FPUC from January to September if you still remain unemployed all the way to September. Hopefully you're not. It also includes funding for vaccine and testing. It includes funding relief for Americans struggling to pay rent. Oh, and get ready for this. Dramatic pause. Three, two, one. And mortgage payment relief. Yes, that's the first time I have heard that ever until this recording. There will be mortgage payment relief under the third stimulus package. Never had that announced anywhere in Biden's papers until today. Boom. Yes, absolutely. A biggie. Mortgage payment assistance. Let's continue. There'll also be help for homelessness. We already knew that because I covered that as well. Include funding for transit agencies impacted because of the situation. And then here comes Diane. Thank you for the dancing pair. 2,600 in the room and 1,300 likes. Let's get to 2,000 likes and let's see if we can get 3,000 in the room. This is the best. This is the most watched home show I think ever. This one right now. We're passing our highest viewership ever in a live chat. Here comes another bombshell. If you've been with me since day one, that was the expression I used. And there was a certain show that I used the word bombshell for. Which, if you know which show bombshell I used bombshell with, drop it on the comments. I love to see if you remember which show I used to use the word bombshell with on this channel. You're going to want to know that because I'm about to make a major announcement for you for your third stimulus package. Get ready for the bombshell. Haven't seen it yet. I guess I got newer reviews. It was for Eidl. It was for Eidl. Eidl is back, baby. Oh my God. The Eidl grant is coming back. Thank you, Susan and Tad, for the dime lemon and Susan for the dancing pear. Eidl grant is back, baby. Oh my goodness. This is coming out of nowhere, and I mean the grant. I don't mean the loan. Lemon alert. Additional relief for small businesses and hard-hit industries through increased funding for the Eidl advance grants. It is back, baby. The creation of a dedicated grant relief program for restaurants, expanded PPP for nonprofit and digital media services, more funds for Save Our Stage grants, independent movie theaters and cultural institutions, and a new community navigator technical assistance to help connect underserved communities with critical resources. Wow. Eidl grant is back. Wow. That means that if you applied for that Eidl grant, never got that money, or apply for the Eidl, get ready, you're going to see some moolah. Funding for critical investments in broadband and distance learning, relief for Amtrak, funding for the FEMA Disaster Relief Fund to ramp up national vaccination assistance, support for hungry families through SNAP, WIC, Pandemic EBT, include critical funding for supply agriculture. I don't know if this means more SNAP. But I'm really, thank you, Elizabeth, for the dancing bear. I don't know if this means more SNAP, but yeah, there's a lot in this recording. I feel like it's only 28 minutes in here. I feel like I've been recording for 3 hours because there's so much information in this recording. Critical funding for Indian health services, funding for economic development administration, environmental justice funds, funding for critical programs to aid in global response to recover the pandemic, and more. Thank you for Cecile for coming to New Purple Hawk. Wow. Lord, at the 28-minute mark, what I missed, just about everything. I missed that as well. Adrian, I think it was Adrian. Thank you for the dancing pair. No, Adbar for the dancing pair. I really appreciate it. What a day this is, everyone. Welcome, Cecile for the family. If you've not become a member of this channel, I don't know what you're doing. If you've not subscribed, you're looking at the wrong channel because guess what? All you're looking at is about... Yeah, you need to be looking here. There's no other place you need to be looking. At the 29-minute mark, let me tell you where we are. Yes, everything else is still in there. That was just a highlight reel from Nancy. Welcome to the family with 29 minutes on the clock. Wall Street's trading up about 2% for the Dow, up about 2% for NASDAQ. It should be closing, I guess, at the time of this recording, on a good day in which the Stocks, which dominated news last Friday, GameStop and AMC, took a plummet. They did not hold the line, and that's after the app Robinhood opened up trading. Meantime, the developments across the board for your vaccine and your stimulus are absolutely shockingly good. First, the vaccine we now know from Pfizer has 200 million doses available as of May, 2 months earlier. That's 200 million new doses. Moderna is ramping up, and they'll have an update about their number of doses in the next few days. Second, Moderna confirms that there's about 20 something million that they delivered. 28 million approximately they delivered already, of which only 17 million have been used, so they have a lot more available. And there is a new order by the Biden camp midday today to ensure that nearly 45,000 pharmacies across the country will be able to give you the vaccine in the next few weeks. This is great news. Your neighborhood pharmacy will have your vaccine in the next few weeks. Make sure you get vaccinated. Then we turn to Congress. Congress is getting your stimulus bill a law as early as the end of this week. With 31 minutes on the clock, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you also like this video. 1,500 people, 1,500 likes, 2,800 people in the room. Let's see if we get to 3,000 with 2 minutes to go. And let's see if we can get those likes up a little bit more. 2,800, let's get if you get to 3,000 people in the room. The development that has happened today, if you did not catch earlier in this broadcast and are coming in late, I'm going to explain it slowly again because it's a little bit confusing. What Congress has the ability to do is use a procedural mechanism called a reconciliation. When they do a reconciliation, they attach to the reconciliation another bill and say, hey, if we pass the reconciliation, then we can pass the bill by just having Democrats vote in favor of it. We don't need a Republican. I use the analogy of the reconciliation is a tow truck, and the bill is the tow hitch behind the tow truck. If they can drive the tow truck in with just Democrats needed to pass the tow truck, then the back of the tow hitch can drive in there after a day or two later. They're not, and so the substance of what you're looking for in the bill is on the tow hitch. The tow truck is just a procedural mechanism to get the tow hitch across the finish line. So what's happening? The tow truck will pass in Congress by the end of today. The tow truck will land on the president's table, the reconciliation for becoming law by the end of today. The tow hitch, which is behind the tow truck, will follow thereafter and get passed by the end of the week. Why? We know it because the tow hitch only needs Democrats to support it. And all Democrats have now come out and say they're supporting the tow hitch. So it's merely me just reporting what's going to happen in a couple of days. It's not speculation. It's not conjecture. It's finality. It has finally happened. $1,400 for an individual stimulus check, $3,200 for adult dependents, $2,800 for married couples, and EIDL grant, and a lot of other surprises that you never heard until this recording, mortgage assistance. Then, also delivered in this recording was the shocking details in which I went back to Biden's transition papers. And in his transition papers, he said that he wanted the SSI and SSDI, Social Security and Railroad benefits, as part of a Social Security Act of 2021. That even his transition people said, we can put it in the COVID relief stimulus package, but we rather have it as a standalone, massive overhaul of the system. So this is the incredible great news. You're going to get $1,400 as a single individual. Married couple will get $2,800. Adult dependents will get $3,200. FPUC will go forward at $400 a week. We are not out of the woods on multiple stimulus checks because Joe Biden now confirms that this package may have been too small and he may be back again. Why? Because Congress can use the tow truck and tow hitch as many times as they want. And the new reports out of the White House says Joe Biden has been advised to be very bold and very aggressive and not I almost cursed. Not pussyfoot around with it. And thank you for the super chat. I couldn't see who it was. Thank you so much for the super chat. So you may see this reconciliation done several times thereafter. On a big day of Home LA, thank you for joining me. I know it's a lot of information. So please join me at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time as I go over all these details again and I slow them down for you. 3:30 with check, then I'm back with third stimulus, and then I'm back with what the chalk. A lot of details, a lot of excitement. You finally made it to the finish line. Congratulations. Now, what we have to do is be ready as a purple hawk and pounce because that moolah is just around the corner. 2926 people in the room and 1,800 likes. Can we get another 60 people in the room to make to 3,000? Let's see. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Best darn channel out there. Most comprehensive around the clock with 3 shows this afternoon, kicking at 3:30 with check, then FPUC, then third stimulus. Thank you, Frank, for the dancing pair. I really appreciate it. And then we're back with third stimulus and finally, what the chalk. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a great afternoon, and save our life for more.